Hi, I'm Captain John Boonart, welcoming you to the September 23rd edition of Bayside Marine Corporation's Massachusetts Fishing Report. As is customary, we're going to hear what's happening in Boston Harbor first with Captain Jason Colby of Little Sister Charters. Hi, Jason.
Hi, John.
Okay, last we talked, you were doing pretty well with the eels on the good-sized fish. That's
the way it is, John. It's just that's the best game in town. I mean, there's fish in the daytime chunking too, but the night fishing is really fun, and the fish are respectable size. So it's just something that makes it very interesting when you're hooking up on just about every pass.
Absolutely, it's good stuff. What about the bluefish in there in the outer harbor? Have they moved in like they have in some of the South Shore areas?
I could tell you I haven't seen any. I haven't had an eel chopped. I haven't had a touch from something other than a bass, and I haven't seen any birds. So it looks like for me, it's been pretty much a one fish pony. There's just bass day and night.
Well, if that's your pony, it's Secretariat then. So that's a good thing.
I'm not complaining.
No, absolutely not. Baits up inside. Any change in what you're seeing for baits in the harbor?
I haven't seen much in the way of bait. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen anything at all. I mean, except for little silver sides, a little spearing.
Yeah.
And that's about all I've been seeing.
Yeah. Have you heard anything on them catching pogies up in Wollaston or inside Hingham?
I heard that it's tough. The guys that have been trying to net them have only been making a lot of sets to only get a few.
Yeah.
And those are the only ones that I've heard of. And most people I know that are trying to chunk are buying their bait.
Gotcha. What do you think you got left in the season, Jason?
Probably 3 weeks before the bass scoot out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, keep your ears and eyes open for anything going on. Then I'm going to talk to you next week. Okay. Hopefully the bass fishing is just as good up there.
It looks pretty steady.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a great week.
You too, Jason. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm Michael Chiklis, and you're watching the Massachusetts Fishing Report.com.
Up next on MFR, time to hear from Pete Belson from Belson's Bait and Tackle up in Scituate. I'm sure he's got a good report because he just had a tournament up there this weekend where lots of nice fish were caught. Peter, welcome to the show again.
Hi there, John. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. Give me a wrap-up. What's happening bass fishing?
Oh, the wrap-up of the McEachern-Patterson tournament was a 28-pounder. Won it by a guy named Tom Blindstrom. And then I think it was a famous South Shore charter captain's mom took second. And I think that that charter captain fell third place.
Yeah, show. I faded bad.
Made a showing.
I faded bad. That was, usually when I'm on that one box and get that early lead, I take it home. But I'll tell you, I got bumped around the last turn.
So it was a good time. It was a good weekend. There was some fish around. We saw a lot of fish in that 15 to 18-pound range, John, up along Peggotty Beach, the river.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of guys tubing worm this weekend. You get those fish all day long, Right in tight. They're out fishing like 6-8 feet of water right up along that wall at Peggotty Beach.
Well, that's good. Well, hey, the action's a big thing, and those are quality fish, so you get happy customers coming in, it works. That size fish works for everybody.
Yeah, the fall's setting up good. We got fall coming later this week, so setting up good. It looks good.
Yeah. Now, our beach, Duxbury Beach, I thought of you a little bit today because in my mother's place here, lures were flying off the wall. We had those 8 to 12-pound bluefish everywhere off the beach. Also, big bass mixed in. Some 30, 35-pounders were caught in the morning off the beach, off Duxbury Beach, both guys from shore and guys fishing tight with boats. So is that just our way, or are you seeing it a little further up the coast, too?
Oh, that's great news. No, we haven't seen bluefish for a while now. We haven't had any of those blitz-like conditions. Yeah. So they must be heading south.
Yeah, we got them good, Pete. I mean, the whole bay's full of them. It was nice to see the lures fly out today for my mom, and people had a ball on them.
Yeah, we talked about it. We knew it would happen. Just a matter of time.
Yep. Well, you predicted it. Anything for the small tuna coming in?
Yeah, I've talked to a few guys. One guy east of the bank trolled one up on some sort of bird daisy chain thingamajiggy. Got one 51 inches, maybe, 80, 90 pounds. They're picking them here and there, John, but don't really hear much on the bluefin front.
Yep. Probably good to mention, because I know this is the time of year for Plymouth Harbor, but you guys have a little smelt fishery up there, and has that started yet?
Oh, yeah, that's smelt's been going, I'd say, a couple of weeks now.
Why didn't you tell me that last week?
It was early. I must have forgot all about it. But yeah, the smelt's been going, and they've been doing pretty good numbers.
Really?
And let's remember, there's a bag limit on smelt now in Massachusetts.
Yeah, new thing.
50 smelt, if you can believe it.
Yeah, 50 fish.
Yeah, it's been happening for a couple of weeks. So right along the Harbor Master's Shack until they pull the floats middle of October should be good getting. We got a lot of little snapper blues. We got butterfish. We got sperling, and herring. So there's a lot of stuff in there to drive you crazy, but there is some smelt in there.
Well, that's good news, Pete. Okay, because that's a nice little fishery. You sending people out with worms, or you got grass shrimp? How's
yeah,
it
I don't
going?
have a grass shrimp. I haven't been doing any grass shrimp, so I've been doing mostly sea worms.
Yeah, they work great. Okay, Peter, as always, terrific report. I will talk to you next week.
Thank you, John. I'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye, bud.
Bye-bye.
And now, the MFR Tip of the Week. Hi, I'm Captain John Booner, and for this week's Bayside Marine Corporation Tip of the Week, I'm going to talk about something a little funky and something you should do to improve your fishing. I'm not saying you have to be, Karnak and guess the future or Nostradamus or anything like that, but you've got to learn to read what's happening in the environment and be able to predict what's happening. I'll give you a little example of this. One of the things I've been seeing the last couple of weeks are these zillions of little baby pogies. Certainly bazillions of them in just about every harbor and inlet here on the South Shore of Mass. They're also on the south side of the Cape, up north. God, they run up into Maine. Okay? From years of experience, I know that these things like to filter out when we get the 45 to 50 degree nights. They start filtering out. And I know when that starts happening, I know we see blitzes of bluefish and bass off the beaches. Just like the northeast wind late in the summer brings those fish into Scorton Ledge. It's time for you to pull out your little Nostradamus Karnak hat, okay, and start predicting where the fish are going to be. I'm Captain John Booner, and that's your Bayside Marine Corporation Tip of the Week. On a sad note this week, I'd like to talk a little bit about the passing of certainly one of the nicest guys in fishing, and many people knew him from his years working at Red Top, Bob Samuelson. Bob died tragically in an accident at Scorton Creek last week, and all of us from MFR, and I'm sure those of our viewers, wish to send the most sincere condolences to those that knew Bob, his family, and his friends. Rest in peace, Bob Samuelson. Up next on the Mass Fishing Report, I'll be giving the South Shore, Stellwagen Bank, Cape Cod Bay report. Bluefish, 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 Cape Cod Bay, all the beaches down from Sandy Neck, all the way down around Marianne Rocks, in front of the canal, all the way up to Green Harbor, in fairly tight, within a mile or two ashore. Is bluefish everywhere, big ones, okay? And occasionally, just like a couple days ago, there was wonderful bass mixed in close to shore off Duxbury Beach. Terrific casting. Those same bluefish are also inside Duxbury Bay every morning practically when the water comes up. Superb fishing, wild eaters, and they'll bite anything. The bluefin tuna fishing, so-so. One day it's good on that southeast corner. A lot of people talked to me after last week's show and said, geez, I trolled that Rapala, X-Wrap, and I got a fish. Well, if you went the next day, you got nothing. You went the day after that, you might have got a bite. So it's been up and down. There has been a couple of 68, 70-inch fish. The fish we were dealing with most of the early season been caught on bait at the corner the last couple of days. Not been good, but a couple of people have caught some fish anyway, which is a little better than what had been happening. The striped bass fishing, I wouldn't say it's rock'em sock'em, but there are some decent fish around the late season spots. Certainly if you run into the blitzing fish on the outside, you're going to get plenty of keepers using topwater plugs. It is fairly good fishing. The cod fishing is off to a slow start here in the ledges out front, Brewer's Ledge, some of the rock piles off of Green Harbor, and even south off the power plant. It's off to somewhat of a slow start. I would expect it to have been better by now, but it isn't. You can still catch some keepers out there. There's dogfish down there, so jigging is mandatory.